Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, I'll be talking about NXT for March 31st, 2021. Now, overall, man, it was a decent show. It was okay. It wasn't the best show. It wasn't a bad show. You know, like most of the matches, like we did have some good matches on the show, but like most of the matches I didn't care about. Like I really didn't care about. It felt like the matches were just there. It was just there. But the only match on the show that was important was that battle royal. For the number one contenders for the eliminator match, the Gauntlet Eliminator match at Takeover. That was the only thing that was important on the show. But yeah, that was building up to Takeover the entire night. So yeah, with a show like this, a show before the pay per view, you're not gonna expect that much on a show. So yeah, this is the NXT review for March 31st, 2021 on the Ryan Awesome Show. And if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. You turn on that bell so you don't miss out. And so yeah, we started off the show with a match, and it was Roderick Strong versus Cameron Grimes. Cameron Grimes. And before the match started, you had Roddy. He came out first, and then Cameron Grimes. He had came out. He grabbed the microphone, and he was trying to be partners with Roderick Strong. He trying to he wanted to team up with Roderick Strong so he can, I guess, revive. He wanted to revive the Undisputed Era. You know, and so Grimes, he had a T-shirt. He had pulled out a T-shirt that he was holding, and then on the T-shirt it had Grimes the System with Cameron Grimes and Roderick Strong, like with the Undisputed Era pose, like the Undisputed Era logo. And so you had Roderick Strong on the bottom, and you had Cameron Grimes on top, like standing over Roderick Strong. And so yeah, Roddy, he did not like it. He did not like it at all. And then they had custom made music, custom made Undisputed Era theme music for, Cameron Grimes and Roderick Strong, Grimes the System. And so that's when, Roddy, he was pissed off. He went right after Cameron Grimes. He started beating up Cameron Grimes. And so, yeah, he was beating him up outside the ring, and then they went inside the ring. The match started. We had knee strikes to Grimes, and we had a drop kick to Grimes, followed up by a sliding drop kick to Cameron Grimes. And then they went back outside the ring. They were fighting. Yeah, Grimes, he was fighting back too, but at first it was working, and then right after that it wasn't working. And so yeah, when they were fighting outside the ring, you had Roderick Strong. He stared at two people. It had two fans wearing an Undisputed Era T-shirt and a Adam Cole T-shirt. So he stared at the fans. He had stared at those two fans that was wearing the Undisputed Era shirt and the Adam Cole shirt, and he just stared there. He just stared at them. And so yeah, that distracted Roderick Strong. And so Cameron Grimes, he attacked Roderick Strong, and that was the story of the match. Roderick Strong, he wanted all Undisputed Era references and Adam Cole references out of his head. And so yeah, Grimes, he had took control of the match at that point. We had a spinning Uranagi to Strong, you know, and so yeah, Strong, he was fighting back with clotheslines, and Grimes had caught him with a flying forearm, and then we had a one-handed backbreaker to Cameron Grimes, and then we had they were fighting at the top rope. He had a superplex to Cameron Grimes. He had kicked out, and Strong, he was going for his elbow strikes. His the elbow strikes that he does, like when you have his opponent on the ropes, hung on the ropes. He was running around giving Cameron Grimes elbow strikes, and then Cameron Grimes had caught him. He had caught him with a Spanish fly, standing Spanish fly. And dude, I'm telling you this right now, man. Cameron Grimes, when he hit that move, man, Grimes, he had landed right on his neck. So that was a bad spot. It was a nasty spot for Cameron Grimes. And so yeah, and so yeah, and then at one point, yeah, Cameron Grimes he had pulled something out of his trunks. We didn't see it at first. I don't think I saw it at first, but yeah, he had grabbed something out of his tights, and so Roderick Strong had caught him with an Olympic slam, and then something had flew out, yeah, flew out of his hand and had landed in the ring. And so yeah, Strong he had it was the armband, it was the undisputed era armband, and so Roderick Strong he had picked it up, and so he stared at the armband. The crowd was chanting undisputed and stuff like that. And then Cameron Grimes had caught him with a cave in, his finishing move, the cave in to win the match. So Cameron Grimes had won a match, and that was it. And it was a good match. It was a good match to start the show. But at first I didn't understand. Like when they made the match last week, at first I didn't understand why they made this match because they have a battle royal later that night. They had a battle royal later that night, the qualifying battle royal for the eliminator tournament, not the eliminator tournament, the eliminator gauntlet match. And so yeah, so I didn't know why they made the match when they both were in the you know both were competing later that night. So yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross he speaks about Finn Balor, and he talks about his training, you know, his method, his strategy, on taking out Finn Balor. And so this is what Karrion Kross had to say.
My greatest strength going into NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver is my conviction. The training prep for this match was very simple. Train to create maximum damage. I'm not wasting my time with conventional training. Going back to basics. Catch wrestling, judo, striking. I stick to my strengths. I train to hurt people. I already know what Finn Balor's going to try to do. He's going to try to run out the clock, tire me out. But what he doesn't realize is, he can't run from me forever. I'm going to cut the ring off. Every time I hit him, he's going to see a white flash. I'm going to light his ass up with shots that he's going to carry with him for the rest of his life. At NXT TakeOver, the fans can expect to see a prince dethroned.
Săptămâna viitoare, Finn Balor o să fie terminat. Fall and pray.
TikTok.
And that was it. That was it from Karrion Kross. And what he had to say, how he's going to take out Finn Balor. And so, yeah, right after that, we had Volta. We have Volta, the NXT United Kingdom champion. And, he talks about Tommaso Ciampa, because he's fighting Tommaso Ciampa at TakeOver for the, he's going to be defending his championship, the UK championship against Ciampa. And so this is what Walter had to say about Ciampa.
Tommaso Ciampa, I'm aware you consider yourself a wrestling veteran, a locker room leader. This great sport was the #1 priority above everything else. You were a dominant and ruthless champion, but now you have other priorities in life. It's not the most important thing in your life anymore. Tommaso, you're not a leader. You're just a shell of what you once were. And that's the difference between you and me. Because my commitment for this sport is unreached. I'm the longest reigning NXT UK champion in history. I'm the one who respects this sport like nobody else. And come TakeOver, I'm gonna prove it. I'm gonna prove what it means when I say the mat is sacred.
And that was it from Volta. Saying that Tommaso Ciampa is a shell of his former self. And he is, man. Like, Tommaso Ciampa is not the same anymore. I missed the 2018 version of Tommaso Ciampa when he was the NXT champion. Him getting booed out of the building. I love that stuff, man. The matches that he had with Gargano, and Aleister Black. That whole storyline with Aleister Black about him getting attacked. Dude, that's the Tommaso Ciampa that I miss, man. But now, man, Tommaso Ciampa, he is not the same anymore. He got his haircut. Like he need to shave his head, man. He don't look good. He don't look good in that haircut that he have right now. But yeah, like I like him. He's better. He's better off as a heel, man. He's better off as a heel. He could be a babyface, but he's better off as a heel, man. Like it's like some people are meant to be heels, and Tommaso Ciampa is that guy who is meant to be a heel. And so yeah, that was it with Walter and what he had to say about Ciampa. Should be a great match. Ciampa is not gonna win. Walter is gonna beat Ciampa. Walter is gonna beat Ciampa. That's my prediction. If you want my prediction, that's my prediction. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that we had a match. Well, first off, it was Santos Escobar. Santos Escobar, the NXT Cruiserweight Champion. He came out to the ring with Legado del Fantasma, and he issued an open challenge. He wanted a match against anybody, and so yeah, and he was talking about how he's the greatest cruiserweight champion of all time in NXT. And then Tyler Breeze had came out. He interrupted and he accepted the challenge. And so it was Santos Escobar, the NXT Cruiserweight Champion, with Legado del Fantasma, Raul Mendoza, and Joaquin Wilde in his corner versus Tyler Breeze. And so yeah, this was good too. And so yeah, we had a corner drop kick to Tyler Breeze, and we had a drop kick to Escobar, and we had an insecurity kick to Escobar. And then Breeze he targeted Escobar's leg. And then, at one point, Breeze, he took out Mendoza and Wilde outside the ring. And we had a gut buster to Breeze. And we had chops. Escobar, he was chopping Breeze. And then, Breeze, he was fighting back, targeting the leg again. And he hit a spine buster on Escobar. And then he locked in a sharpshooter submission move to Escobar. And Escobar, he had grabbed the bottom rope. And then, Escobar, he took control right after that. And then to end the match, we had Santos Escobar. He hit his finishing move, the Phantom Driver, to Tyler Breeze to win the match. And so yeah, right after that, we had Legado del Fantasma. They try to attack. They try to beat down, Tyler Breeze. Yeah, they try to beat down Tyler Breeze, and then MSK had came out to stop the attack, and so they had chased off Legado del Fantasma. And then you had the music was still playing, and you had the Grizzly Young Veterans. They had spoke.
Turn that rubbish music off. Eyes up here, lads. Legado, you are so distracted trying to earn brownie points with Escobar. And MSK, you are so distracted by bright lights and funny memes and pretty much anything. Whereas we are laser focused on one thing only. The grizzled young veterans are soon to be recognized as the next tag team champions.
Yeah, so they said they're gonna be the next NXT Tag Team Champions. They got their eyes laser focused on the NXT Tag Team titles, and so that's what the Grizzly Young Veterans had to say to Legado del Fantasma and MSK. It should be a great triple threat match. I'm going with MSK to win the match. Grizzly Young Veterans, they already had a championship, the NXT UK titles. Legado del Fantasma, I see them winning, later on down the line. But MSK, they're the ones that should win, man, because they won, they won a tournament and everything, and they've been on fire lately. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had McKenzie Mitchell. She interviews Johnny Gargano, the NXT North American Champion, with the Way in his corner, Austin Theory, Candice LeRae, and Indi Hartwell. And so yeah, Johnny, he was complaining about the gauntlet match, the gauntlet title match, and how it's not fair and everything. And then he asked Austin Theory, like, well, dude, why are you in this? Like, why are you in this eliminator match? Why are you in this battle royal? And so Theory, he was like, if I win, I'll be going up against you, and we could do the finger poke of doom. And so Johnny, he was like, the finger poke of doom, that killed the business, dude. That killed the business. But you know what? That's okay. We're still here. But it's okay. And so yeah. Right after that, Candice LeRae and Indi Hartwell, they said that they plan on showing what real women's tag team, what a real women's tag team should look like. and they're gonna show that tonight. And so that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, they had a video of a dog. They showed a dog was walking in front of the performance center, and that was it. They just showed a video of a dog in front of the performance center, and that was it. And so yeah, right after that, we had McKenzie Mitchell last week. She had interviewed Io Shirai, and she asked her like, "Did you bitten off more than you can chew when you challenged Raquel Gonzalez?" And so Io, she said, that's why I picked her. That's why I picked her. And so yeah, right after that, we had a tag team match, and it was for the women. It was Candice LeRae and Indi Hartwell versus Zayda, Ramier, and Gigi Dolan, aka Priscilla Kelly. And so yeah, this was a squash match, an absolute squash match. And so yeah, we had a sidewalk slam to Dolan from Hartwell, and we had sling blades to Hartwell from Ramier, followed up by an enziguri kick. So they did get a little bit of offense in this match. We had a spine buster to Ramier from Hartwell, and then we had at one point LeRae, she took out Dolan, and then she gave Ramier a super kick. And then we had LeRae, she hit the Wicked Stepsister, her finishing move, the Wicked Stepsister to Ramier. And then Indi Hartwell, she had followed it up with a springboard diving elbow to Ramier from, to win the match. So Indi Hartwell and Candice LeRae didn't win the match. And, they spoke. They grabbed the microphone. Candice LeRae had to speak. And they said they challenged Ember Moon and Shotzi Blackheart to a title match, a tag team title match at NXT TakeOver Stand and Deliver. And so Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon, they came out in a tank to their music. And so they said they accept the challenge. And so right after that, we had Shotzi Blackheart. She had shot her tank off at, LeRae and Hartwell, and that was it, and they left. And so, yeah, right after that, we had Raquel Gonzalez. Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai, they were walking to the ring. They were getting ready to walk to the ring. They were backstage. And so, yeah, Io Shirai, she had came up into Raquel Gonzalez's face. And, she said something. Like, I think she said, you can't beat me or something like that, or you can't kill me or something like that, she said. And so she ended up punching Raquel Gonzalez in the face. And so they ended up fighting backstage. And then Dakota Kai, she had got involved too. And so Raquel Gonzalez ended up, dropping Io Shirai backstage. And that was it with that. And so right after that, they had the video of the dog. They showed a video of the dog, walking inside the Capitol Wrestling Center. And that was it. And so, at that point, everybody was wondering, man, who is this? Like, who is this person? Who is this? Who is this dog for? Like what's the point of this video? Like where is this going? That's the question that everybody was asking. And so yeah, and right after that we had an interview, a backstage interview from McKenzie Mitchell. She interviews Roderick Strong, and Roderick Strong, he was leaving the building. And so McKenzie, she asked Roddy, like, dude, where are you going? Like, where are you going? You have a battle royal to compete in. Like, where are you going? And so Roddy, he said that, I'm done. I'm done with everything. And so he walked out, and that was it. So is he quitting? Is he quitting NXT? I don't know. I don't know what they doing with Roderick Strong. They broke him away from the Undisputed Era. I just don't know, man. I don't know. Cause as a singles guy, he wasn't doing nothing, man. But yeah, I think they never shouldn't have broke up the Undisputed Era, man. They had so much more, man. They accomplished everything, but I think they should have stayed a little bit longer. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, so right after that we had a match, a one-on-one match. It was Zoey Stark versus Raquel Gonzalez with Dakota Kai in her corner. And so yeah, Stark, she used her speed against Gonzalez, and then Gonzalez, she had used her power against Stark. And we had elbow drops to Stark. Stark kicked out. And then at one point, Stark, she had went for a high flying move. Like, she knocked Gonzalez out of the ring, and she went for a high flying move over the top rope. And so Raquel Gonzalez caught her and was about to slam her to the ring post, but Stark, she had escaped it and just pushed Raquel Gonzalez into the ring post. And so, yeah, so Raquel Gonzalez is down. And so, yeah, Dakota Kai ended up, hitting, gave Stark a cheap shot. Like, she punched her right in the face. And so, yeah, Stark, she had took out Kai, clothesline her over the barricade. So Dakota Kai is out. And we had a knee strike to Gonzalez right in the face, like kneed her right in the face. And not Kai, Gonzalez had kicked out. And we had a diving neckbreaker to Gonzalez, and she kicked out. And then to end the match, we had a one-handed powerbomb, her finishing move, that one-handed powerbomb to Stark to win the match. So Raquel Gonzalez wins the match. And so, yeah, right after the match, we had, Raquel Gonzalez, she was celebrating. And so you had Io Shirai, going after Raquel Gonzalez again. So she ran out to the ring and she attacked Raquel Gonzalez. And so Raquel Gonzalez, she had picked up Io Shirai and she just threw her into the plexiglass, and that was it. So she dropped Io Shirai twice in the same night. And so, yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had the video of the dog again. They showed the dog again, and the dog was running up the stairs, and the dog had ran in the gym. The sign on the floor that said "We are NXT." It was running. The dog was running across the the gym, and that was it. And so right after that, we had McKenzie Mitchell. She interviews Kushida, and so Kushida, he said that nothing is gonna stop me from winning the Battle Royal tonight. And so yeah, and then Pete Dunne had interrupted Kushida, and so Pete Dunne, he was offended that Kushida is calling himself the best technical wrestler in the world, and then he dared Kushida to try to prove him wrong. And so Kushida, he said, I will prove you wrong. And that was it. So we might be seeing a Kushida versus a Pete Dunne match in the future. Yes. Because Kushida ain't doing nothing, man. He ain't doing nothing. So why not put him in the ring with Pete Dunne? And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had an Adam Cole and a Kyle O'Reilly video package and their feud. So they talk about the history of the Undisputed Era, the history of Cole and O'Reilly, their friendship, when the first time they met each other and stuff like that. It was a beautiful video package, man. If you haven't seen it, man, go out and watch it, man. It was one of the best. It's one of the best video packages ever, man. From these two, man, it was the best. You gotta go back. You gotta go out and watch it, man. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had a match. It was supposed to be a tag team match, but it ended up being a handicap match. And so it was supposed to be Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter versus Xia Li and Mei Ying. And so it ended up being a handicap match. So it was Casey Catanzaro and Caden Carter versus Xia Li. And so yeah, it really wasn't much into this match. Really wasn't much into this match. And then yeah, we had Catanzaro and Carter. They took control of Lee, so they were double teaming Lee. And then Lee, she had threw Catanzaro into the barricade outside the ring. And then Catanzaro had hit a spinning code breaker to Lee. And then, so Xia Li, she was getting her ass handed to her. She was getting beat down. And so Mei Ying, she had stood up. She had stood up from her chair, off the stage. She stood up on her chair. And so we had Caden Carter. She had walked up the stage into Mei Ying's face. So she got in Mei Ying's face, trash talking Mei Ying. And so Mei Ying had grabbed her by the throat. She had grabbed her by the throat. And so Caden Carter was gasping for air. She was gasping for air. And so, yeah, Mei Ying, she had blue smoke. She had blue smoke in Carter's face. Like, she blew it in her face. And so Caden Carter, she was knocked out. The smoke had knocked her out. And so, she was laid out in front of Mei Ying and Boa. And so, yeah, in the ring, Case Catanzaro and Xia Li, they were going back and forth. And then Xia Li ended up hitting her finishing move, that spinning kick to Catanzaro to win the match. So Xia Li, she wins the match. And that was it. And so, yeah, right after that, we had McKenzie Mitchell. She tried to interview Raquel Gonzalez. But Io Shirai again went after Gonzalez. And so, yeah, she had jumped her from behind. Like, she had jumped on her back. And she started to fight Raquel Gonzalez. And so Gonzalez had grabbed Io Shirai. She grabbed her and just slinged her. She had swung her into the wall. So she put her through a wall. And so, yeah, she put her through the wall. And then Gonzalez had yelled at her, just stay down. Like, stay down. And that was it. Like, dude. So this is the third time Io Shirai got dropped by Gonzalez. At that point, I was like, "Yo, just stay down, quit." I was like, "Quit, man, quit." And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, we had the video of the dog again. So the dog had walked up the stage. So yeah, the dog was in the stage, not in the stage. The dog was in the arena, and so the dog had walked up to someone's feet. You know, we didn't see the person. We didn't see the person's face, but we saw a woman wearing heels. And so, and then the sign said, "See you April 13th," and it said Frankie. And so that was it. I don't know who the person is. Like I don't think nobody knows who the person is. But if I had to guess, I'm guessing it's Taya Valkyrie. That's what I'm thinking. It's Taya Valkyrie. I'm gonna just go out and say it's Taya Valkyrie because that person that they showed. I saw the legs, and I was guessing it was Taya Valkyrie because Taya Valkyrie is a strong woman. She is she looks like physically she is a strong person. Like she looks strong. And yeah, like who else? Who else would it be? And so that's why I was like, you know what? It might be Taya Valkyrie. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had Tommaso Ciampa, and his response to Walter.
Walter, I know you're watching. Now I need you to listen. The day I went in for neck surgery, my wife and my baby girl gave me this necklace. Now you didn't know that. And that's okay. But you reminded me. You reminded me of my journey. You reminded me of my story. Sometimes in life, we just need to be reminded of who we are. Now, I've heard what you have to say. Seems like everybody has a lot to say nowadays. It's all stuff I've heard before. He's old. He's broken. He hasn't been the same since neck surgery, since becoming a dad. He ain't the 2018 Ciampa. He's changed. So now I sit here and I ask myself, are they right? Is Walter right? Yeah. Yeah, I guess in some ways I have. But then I shift my mindset. I block out all the hate. I think of the people who believe, who continue to believe. I think of Danny and Brody, Kellen and Kaylin. I think of Ray and Bo, my wife, and my baby girl Willow Bell. And to all my supporters out there, I'm telling you right now, I hear you. I see you. I feel you. And at TakeOver, we're gonna remind the world. I'm gonna chase that dragon. I'm gonna climb to the top of his mountain, look him dead in the eye, and I'm gonna chop his damn head off.
Oh.
Walter, you gotta understand something. I've been on top of the mountain. I've held the title close to my chest, and I know what it's like to fall to the bottom, to pick yourself back up, to make that climb again. It changes a man. So yeah, Walter, I've changed. But I'll tell you what I've learned over these past 2 years. I'd rather be a man who fights for something, I mean, who really fights for something, than a man who fights with nothing to lose any day of the week and twice on Wednesday. You want to know, Walter, if the Black Heart still lives? You want to know if the Psycho Killer's still there? In 7 days at TakeOver, stand and deliver. You're going to get your answer. And it's going to cost you that NXT UK Championship. Walter, it's a long, long fall from the top of the mountain. Buckle up.
And that was it. That was it from Tommaso Ciampa, man. Great, very great promo from Ciampa, man. Tommaso Ciampa always delivers a great promo. But yeah, still don't think he's gonna beat Walter, you know. And so yeah, right after that, we had Finn Balor. He spoke about his strategy against Walter. Not Walter. I keep saying Walter. Kross. Karrion Kross. So yeah, so Finn Balor, he talks about his strategy against Karrion Kross.
I've been expecting Kross for a long time. It was never a case of if. It was always a case of when. It's TakeOver. The ring may look the same, but the energy is different. When the pressure's on, it becomes hard to breathe. and the nerves make your legs heavy. But you see those rules? They don't apply to Finn Balor. You see, my stamina has always been my strength. Finn Balor doesn't get gassed out. Kross may try to dictate the pace of the match. You see, that's fine with me. Because the longer this match goes, the deeper we get into the match, that deep water, that's where he drowns. Kross, there will be no fairy tale ending. At TakeOver Stand and Deliver, you choke. Finn Balor still NXT champion.
And that was it. That was it from Finn Balor. And his final thoughts before, his match, his title defense against Karrion Kross. And so yeah, so for next week's show, not next week's show, but for for TakeOver, well, they announced, next week for night one. I mean, yeah, next week is the TakeOver. So yeah, Pete Dunne, they added this to the show. Pete Dunne versus Kushida at night one. And, they added the NXT Women's Tag Team Championship match with Candice LeRae and Indi Hartwell versus Shotzi Blackheart and Ember Moon. And so yeah, I think that was on night one. It's either night one or night two. I forgot what it was. But yeah, it's added on the show, on TakeOver. And so yeah, right after that we had the Battle Royal. The Battle Royal, it was Isaiah Swerve Scott, Leon Ruff, Pete Dunne, Kushida, Austin Theory, LA Knight, Cameron Grimes, Dexter Lumis, Tyler Rust, Bronson Reed, and Jake Atlas. No Roderick Strong, because Roderick Strong, he had walked away. And so yeah, we had Swerve Scott, he had came out first. And then we had Ruff, Leon Ruff, he attacked Isaiah Swerve Scott during his entrance. And so yeah, they started fighting and everything. The match didn't start yet. And so yeah, we went to commercial break, and we came back from commercial break. Pete Dunne, he was making his entrance to the ring, and everybody else was in the ring. And so yeah, everybody was fighting. Lumis, he was standing in a corner, by himself, didn't even do nothing. He stood in that same corner the entire match, didn't do nothing. And so yeah, first Swerve Scott, he eliminated Jake Atlas, by, with the help of Malcolm Bivens and Tyler Rust. Yeah, so Tyler Rust, he ended up getting eliminated by Isaiah Swerve Scott and Leon Ruff. And then we had a hip attack. So yeah, this is the funny part of the match. We had a hip attack. So we had Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed and Austin Theory, they were going back and forth. And so you had Bronson Reed, he had hip attack Austin Theory, like when he was, by the ropes and everything. And so yeah, he hip attacked him outside of the ring. And so Austin Theory, he was out of the ring, but his feet was still in the air. So his feet had never hit the ground. And so the referees was telling him, hey, you're not eliminated. And so Austin Theory, he tried to get on his feet. He tried to get back into the ring. And so he was moving on his back and everything. Yeah, he was moving on his back. And so so yeah, he was moving on his back, and he kipped up. He had kipped up. And so yeah, he had kipped up and landed on his feet on the floor. And so yeah, he was celebrating like he avoided the elimination. And so the referee is like, no, you're eliminated. You just eliminated yourself. You're eliminated. And so yeah, so Austin Theory, he looked like an idiot. He looked like an idiot by not, going to the steel steps and getting back into the ring. But instead he kipped up outside of the ring, and both his feet had hit the ground. So yeah, Austin Theory, he's out. He's eliminated. And so yeah, Kushida and Pete Dunne, they were face to face. They're going back and forth, trading submission moves. And then yeah, and so yeah, we had Kushida, he had locked in his hoverboard lock on Pete Dunne, and then they both had went over the top rope, and so they eliminated each other. And so right after they were eliminated, Kushida, he still had the lock hold in. He still had the hoverboard lock, still on. And so the referees were breaking it up and everything. And so yeah, they're both out. Kushida and Pete Dunne are out. And so the final six, we had Bronson Reed, Dexter Lumis, Cameron Grimes, LA Knight, Isaiah Swerve Scott, and Leon Ruff. So they're guaranteed you know, at the Gauntlet title match because the final six will be in the Gauntlet title match. So yeah, they're the final six, and so yeah, Bronson Reed he eliminated Leon Ruff first and Isaiah Swerve Scott next. So Leon Ruff and Isaiah Swerve Scott they'll start the Eliminator tournament, not the Eliminator tournament, the Gauntlet Eliminators at number 1 and number 2. They'll be the first ones to start the match on night 1, right? Yeah, night 1. And so yeah, and then right at that we had Bronson Reed, Bronson Reed and Cameron Grimes and LA Knight. They were beating each other up, and they were trying to eliminate Bronson Reed. Knight and Grimes did, and so Dexter Lumis for the first time he got involved in the match. He helped Cameron Grimes and LA Knight eliminate Bronson Reed. So Bronson Reed is out. So Bronson Reed will be coming out third in an eliminator match. And so yeah, and then another thing, we had Grimes. He had took out a sack of money, and so he took off the money and he tried to bribe Dexter Lumis and LA Knight to to eliminate themselves. He was telling Dexter Lumis, you go this way, and he was telling LA Knight, you go this way, you go that way. And so yeah, he had the money in his hand, and so Dexter Lumis he had uppercutted Cameron Grimes, and so the money started flying everywhere. And so LA Knight and Dexter Lumis they eliminated Cameron Grimes, so Cameron Grimes is out. And so in the final two were Dexter Lumis and LA Knight. And so yeah, we had an uppercut to Knight, and then Knight and Lumis they were going back and forth, and then Dexter Lumis, yeah. So LA Knight he had threw Lumis over the top rope, and so yeah he threw him over the top rope, and so Knight was trying to go, trying to run into Dexter Lumis, but Dexter Lumis he had reversed it. He had sidestepped him, and so he had sent LA Knight through the ropes. And so yeah, he went through the ropes, and both feet did hit the floor, but he's not eliminated. You got to go over the top rope. And so this is a smart move by LA Knight. While Knight was outside the ring, he had yanked Dexter Lumis off the ring apron, and both of Dexter Lumis' feet hit the grounds because he's eliminated. Because Dexter Lumis he did go over the top rope. And so LA Knight, while he was outside the ring, he had yanked Dexter Lumis off the ring apron, and both of his feet hit the ground. So Dexter Lumis is eliminated. So therefore, LA Knight wins the match and will be coming out last in the Gauntlet Eliminator. So he has a advantage to win the match. And so yeah, another thing I forgot to mention, Johnny Gargano, during the mid-match, he came out on commentary. And so Gargano, he was on commentary. LA Knight had gotten Gargano's face, and they were arguing, saying that, oh yeah, I'm going right after you. I'm coming right after you, Gargano, for that NXT North American Championship. And so yeah, that's all they were doing. They were trash talking. They didn't touch each other. And so yeah, right after that we had Io Shirai. Io Shirai again coming out, not quitting, not staying down. And so Io Shirai, she had came out to the ring to her music. I don't know why she came out to her music, but yeah, she came out and she was speaking in Japanese. I'm guessing she was calling out Raquel Gonzalez in Japanese. And so Raquel Gonzalez came out, and so they started fighting again. And so yeah, the women's locker room, they stopped the fight. They were trying to stop the brawl and everything. And Gonzalez and Io Shirai were taking out everybody, And Io Shirai, she got over she went on the top of the rope and she had dove on everybody that was outside the ring. And so that was it. And at first I didn't understand why did this happen? Why did this happen? Like, you just took away, LA Knight's victory. LA Knight, he had won the match, and his celebration was cut short because of the women, because of the brawl and everything. Yeah, and that was it. It was cheesy, man. It really was. Like, the fact that Io Shirai kept getting up again. She got dropped by her 3 times tonight, man. She's like, the first time Io Shirai got knocked through. She had got knocked down on crates or something like that backstage, and then Raquel Gonzalez threw her into a plexiglass, ringside, and then she threw her through a wall. She had threw her through the wall. She had put her through a wall, and so that's 3 times. I like, dude, why does she keep getting back up? Like, you would think that she would be in the hospital right now after the damage that Raquel Gonzalez put her through. You would think she would be in the hospital, but no, she kept getting up. not even selling the injury, not even selling the injury at all. So yeah, that didn't make any sense, dude. They ain't make no sense. And so yeah, man, that was it with the review for NXT. You know, it was okay. It was an okay show. It wasn't the best show. You know, not saying it was a bad show. It wasn't a bad show. But yeah, obviously you know they're building towards takeover. So you know, so yeah, you're not gonna expect the you know a great show on a show like this. You know, a show right before a pay per view. You're not gonna expect anything from it. And so yeah, man, that was it with it. And this was the NXT review for March 31st, 2021 on the Ryan Awesome Show. And if you like this video, man, what are you waiting for? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out, because I'm here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and you turn on that bell so you don't miss out. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And comment down below. Tell me how you felt about this episode of NXT. And yeah, man, comment down below. And I'll see you guys on Tuesday. Tuesday for Impact Wrestling. And yeah, man. And once again, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you. No, not Tuesday. No, not Tuesday. It's gonna be on Thursday. Tuesday, there's nothing on Tuesday. Impact Wrestling will be on Thursday. So I'll see you guys on Thursday for Impact Wrestling. And yeah, man. And once again, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you. And this has been the Ryan Awesome Show. Take care. Stay safe. And that's